All right, Karen, here we are. Happy New Year. We're ready to record again. It's January 9th, 2026 at the time we were recording this. I was going to say 2006 almost, and then I realized that that was 20 years ago, which is pretty wild. But so it's been quite the year so far, right? I mean, the world's basically burning around us pretty much. We're in some sort of a pseudo civil war, I suppose. Sounds like there's a good old world war brewing up with the old $1.5 trillion Pentagon budget. So exciting things to look forward to in the future. We have a surveillance state coming being constructed around the current administration. So it's just fun things in the new year. Uh, so what are
Yeah,
your thoughts
yeah.
thus
How are you?
far? Are you done with the
Well,
year?
yeah. You're
Are
like
you
just a
over it?
great way. It's kind of funny, like you said. I guess it's not funny, but in a sense, it's like it just start trying to start your year. You're like, okay, I'm trying to eat like healthy, and then like Trump's like, okay, we're just gonna take out Maduro, and we're taking over Greenland, and Stephen Miller's like, no one's going to stop us, and we're like, okay. Anyway, moving on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and we have federal agents shooting people in the face, and
Mm-hmm.
I did want to talk about that for a moment because. I think that what needs to be said is that you can feel a lot. You don't have to take a side necessarily in that situation. I know that people feel like they need to be like, people have just gotten into this like tribal mentality where it's like we just have to, it's like, Trump Republican, we have to, agree that this is okay. It's like, okay, it's probably not best. Maybe this person didn't have the proper training. Maybe they were just afraid and they shot this woman. I also can hold the same opinion that that woman shouldn't have probably been there and shouldn't have been agitating the federal agents. Like you can believe both of those things, people. You don't have to feel one or the other. You don't have to, it's not like they're like mutually exclusive or something. Like you can have
Right.
one or the other. And but I think like, Colin, I've been saying this for months, back from Halloween, like we do not need the federal government going and taking out pizza workers or caterers. Like we need
Right.
to deputize Dr. Loomis from the
Yes.
Halloween series. Psychiatrists need to be deputized. They need to be conducting raids on the mentally deranged in this country
Oh,
and be taken
100%.
to mental institutions.
I have
And
names. I can name names. I can give you names of family members. Dr. Loomis needs to bust down the door. They need to be dragged to the
yes,
newly opened state mental institutions. Like that's a bigger concern to me than most illegal immigrants that are currently here, to be honest
yeah,
with you.
yeah, I
You know?
kind of agree. Like when you watch those women with like the new footage that just came out, and there's the woman who's like in the face of the agent, and she's just like, "We don't change our license." I'm like,
Yeah.
this woman is a threat to society. Like she should be
Right. She
locked
needs to be
up.
locked
Yeah,
away.
yeah. Like
Like, yeah, like
Dr.
don't shoot her. Take
So it,
her.
yes. So for anybody that doesn't know this, like Dr. Loomis is the doctor who hunted down Michael Myers, who was going to, we are all Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween, okay? We
Right.
as a society are Jamie Lee Curtis and the mentally deranged brother of ours, Michael Myers,
Hmm.
aka, and hey, this is not a political statement. This is not a
No.
polarized, this is left and right. They all need to go into institutions. Like we need to kind of put aside, we can deal with the whole immigration thing later. We can deal with the illegal immigrants later. I think the bigger issue we have right now are just like the mentally, like I said, mentally deranged. Like these people are just all over the place. It's a threat to our society. We need Dr. Loomis. We need him on the streets. We need him with federal agents. Like we need those people to be rated. We need them like we need this to be implemented now. We need the raids on the streets. We need
Hmm.
to go to their homes. We need to tear them from their homes. We need to tear them off Reddit. We need to tear them like, and they should not be allowed online. Okay. We need to tear these
Right.
people off of X and we need to throw them into institutions. They should not be allowed to have internet access.
And it needs to be
Yeah.
done like in the dead of night too. Like this should be done at like 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Because these people are going to be up anyway. Most of
Yes.
these people, they sound like they have jobs. They're up, gaming or on Reddit or whatever. So just like knock down the door 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, take them away, throw them in the room with the padded mattresses, and we'd be a lot better off as a society. Because if you do it in broad day, see, here's the thing about these raids. Like, don't you feel like they're? I feel like they're extremely aggressive and ostentatious on purpose. Like they're making
Like
a
theater.
spectacle of, yeah, exactly. They're making a spectacle of it on purpose. Because I was looking at that raid, I'm like, why don't they have the whole block? Like, why are people even able to get in there? Do you know what I mean? Like, why isn't it should be like quarantined off? Should it
Yeah,
not?
you see like all of these like I don't even want to say unemployed. Like my suspicion is that those women were probably getting paid. They were supposed to be some like kind of like legal observers. There's no way I'm driving around the country to watch ice raids other
Oh
unless
my
I'm getting
God.
paid. But yet again, some of these people, the problem is I think a lot of people are lacking purpose in their lives. And Donald Trump really gives people a lot of purpose. And I mean
Oh.
that left and right. I mean,
He's like the Joker. He's the Joker to
yes.
their Batman. It's like the Joker gave that speech in The Dark Knight about how, what did he say? Like basically, you need me, you complete me. Like we complete each other. Like we can't,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like for me personally, like pistachio cappuccinos are back at
you're
Starbucks. Like
so
that's
unhealthy.
I
Here I
know.
am,
I
like
know.
off on a good start, eating healthy, drinking healthy, and you're just sucking down these sugary beverages at Starbucks.
I know.
I'm
I'm
really
sorry.
disappointed with you in a lot of different ways,
I know.
but it's
Not start
okay
the
though.
year.
It's okay. It's
I
gonna get
needed
better.
to have this drink because I don't know if we're gonna be in World War III. So I was like, I need to just I have a scarcity
Okay.
mindset around it. I'm like, I don't know what Trump's doing next. Starbucks there might be agents around the Starbucks tomorrow. So I just had to get it today.
There could be.
But what I'm saying is I just feel like there's a lot of people that these keyboard warriors, these people that kind of have like these empty lives, like they're like salivating online for like a civil war. I don't want a civil war. I want a pistachio latte. Like I don't want a civil war. I just want to live my life. Like I don't want to be bothered by this nonsense. And I don't really feel like my left-wing neighbors and or friends and family, besides mentally deranged, are really a threat to my existence. And like, what kind of civil war is this going to be? Like the left wing's going to show up with their crystals and their spells? Like what?
Hey,
And their
don't
cats?
discount the power of crystal. I have some crystals right here on my desk right now. Actually,
Yeah, they're
I've got a
gonna
rose quartz crystal right here. What else do I have? Yeah. I have
Colin
two
the
rose
basic
quartz.
witch.
Well, I was told by my medium that I should I should surround myself with rose quartz crystals.
Okay,
But
okay.
I didn't mean to
That
take
is
us
how
off on
Colin
that.
is going to defend himself in the Great War of
Yeah,
2026
I'm
with
gonna
these
be completely
crystals.
disarmed. I'm just gonna be like shrouded in rose quartz crystals, and it's gonna be impenetrable. You're not gonna be able to touch me,
Okay, well
and
maybe
Shadow the cat.
and Shadow the I was
You,
going to say that's the other thing. They're going to have
hmm
the crystals, the spells, Shadow, the cat,
Yep,
the cats.
yep.
And what else? I do know that some of the like there are like some Antifa and trans groups that do have like they've gotten into weapon like actually shooting guns and everything. But I just wonder, like, when I see some of these like left-wing people that are like, we're going to be in a civil war, and it's like, and how exactly do you plan on defending or you know, taking care of yourself during this? Like, you have
Yeah, and
no
like, what are you gonna do without your Netflix? Like, don't all these people like they watch Stranger Things and all these different Netflix
Yeah,
shows.
yeah, exactly. Like
So,
I don't know. I don't feel I feel and here's the thing too. Like I do feel like the left wing is activated. Like they like you said, like we talked about, like Trump is their enemy. It kind of gives them a purpose. It makes them feel like they're it's almost like
hmm
we grew up with like all these World War II movies and then you're always like what's going to happen if like Hitler came in our country and
Mm-hmm.
Or you understand, like this big evil
Yeah,
leader
this
comes,
dictator, this
you know,
fascist dictator,
yeah,
like they
like
had
Darth
to keep that
Vader.
image alive. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like Darth Vader's here, and like, am I going to be with the evil empire? I got to fight the evil empire. I have to resist. And I feel like it kind of gives them meaning. So I do believe there are a lot of left-wing people that genuinely do feel like a heightened sense of hatred, a heightened sense of othering, a heightened sense of I don't even know. Like you get what I'm saying. Like they just feel like they are under some kind of oppressive regime and they need to fight back. But I would argue on the right, with the exception of like the boomer right wingers, and I mean that like the ones that aren't awake, because I feel like some of them are kind of awake too. I feel as if though everybody in the right wing, like under 45, like doesn't even really care about the left that much. Like we've kind of like moved on. Like they don't even feel
Yeah.
threatening. Kind of feels like a
Nobody's
joke at this point.
nobody's playing into these culture war charades anymore. You know,
Yeah.
it's all about, like you were saying earlier, it's all about the elites, you know, like
Yes.
the
Yeah.
18 to 40 demo is focused on the elites, the true the tech oligarchs, if you
Yeah.
will, that are
Yeah.
creating this digital prison planet around us. That's really
Exactly.
where they're honed in on. And I think
Exactly.
that's where we're honed in on. So
Yeah.
this culture war stuff is just kind of like, oh, we're still playing like Democrat versus Republican, left versus right. Like, oh, it's all so tiresome. It's all so
Ex-
exhausting.
exactly. It almost feels like to me, like my initial reaction to this was just like I said, I do, I don't like the idea of, government agents shooting US citizens. I'm definitely concerned about that because I do have a concern that, okay, well, we have Palantir who's involved with the government now. And like, what
Hmm.
happens when the Democrats are in power? And what if you
Yeah, they're
understand?
not
It's
going to
like,
use that, certainly.
yeah, yeah, they're not gonna hunt me down. And so there is some concern about that. And like you said, a lot of it just feels like theater. Like I don't even know um how much these raids are even really going to end up being helpful in the end. But and I'm not opposed to them, like especially for the criminals. Like I
Hmm.
think that there's probably a better way to deal with the pizza delivery guy that's from Guatemala. Like, we could maybe tax him for being here until the point where he self-deport. Like there's probably better ways to deal with your average immigrant that don't involve like showing up at a pizzeria and arresting them with like ICE agents. Like, but for the actual true like violent criminals, like, yeah, let's, yeah, go and people don't remember like there were raids during the Biden administration. There were ICE
Oh,
raids
yeah. During
in
every
Obama. Yeah, like
administration,
every
there were ICE
administration.
raids. There were
This
people going
isn't,
out the door and there were
yeah,
people coming in the door. Now, it just so
yeah,
happened under Biden, 10 million came in. And under Trump right now, the thing is, the funny thing about all of this is that it's not like there are these mass deportations that are going on. Like millions of people are not going out the door. With the numbers as they are right now, at the end of this term, it's going to be about a million, which
yeah,
is like, it's going to be like Obama level, basically.
yeah,
So, were there really mass deportations? However, I think that they are making a bigger spectacle out of the deportations that are happening to kind of incite an environment of civil unrest.
exactly.
Maybe maybe you can get a good excuse to declare the Insurrection Act, further ramp up the surveillance state. This is why we need Palantir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all it's all nonsense.
Like you said, everything's become performance. But back to the thing, he's also like Kristi Noem going out there and like calling this woman like a domestic terrorist. Like I don't
She should be at
necessarily.
home. She needs to be like cooking for her man at home.
She needs to be getting her filler dissolved, is what she needs to be
Oh my
getting
God.
done. Yeah.
She looks ridiculous in involved in these situations like she's some sort of like badass. It's like, no, you're not a badass. You're not some sort of you're not Xena warrior princess. house. You're not.
That's even worse.
You need to stay home. A lot of these chicks, Karen, they just need to stay home. By the way, do you know that I read something today regarding the whole Venezuela thing? I heard that when it happened, Tulsi Gabbard, she was on a beach in Hawaii and nobody told her anything about it. Nobody told her a thing that it was going to happen. She was
Oh my
just like chilling on the beach
goodness.
somewhere, and I guess she probably found out about it like everybody else.
Oh my
I don't know.
god. Like you said, this whole administration is like a theater. Like it's all theater. It's all performance art. I do think we need to say we just had technical difficulties because Palantir is trying to sabotage us, but we are back.
And
And
because we're not professional at all in the slightest, and we're retard maxing. Let's face it. That's the real reason
it's the
why.
real truth. We're
But
just gonna blame Palantir, but really
yeah,
it's probably related to us. But
yeah. In truth,
but I was just saying that obviously this woman should not her and her wife probably should have been there. I would not be surprised if they were being paid by some kind of group. We'll just label it George Soros as per usual because
might as well.
yeah, he's like in the
George
grave.
Soros is behind everything. Everything on the
Yeah,
left is funded by
he
George
is.
Soros.
He is. He has like endless pockets. It's pretty wild. But like I said, I don't think that that woman should have been there, nor should her dog have been there. Can we just like take a
That was
moment
the
to
part
like
that disturbed me the most, truthfully. Like, if
you're like,
anybody was okay, I hope it was the dog.
did you see the dog? The poor dog looked terrified and bewildered. Like, why am I here? I should
Yeah,
be, it was probably thinking it needed to work for the agents. But yeah,
probably.
I think that the agent, like I said, you have to put yourself in their shoes for a minute and think like, okay, you're showing up there, the person rams a car at you. You've already had a situation like that previously. Um, yeah, so perhaps I hope that you're trained for that kind of situation, but regardless of that, I do feel like the main point is we sometimes have to like remove ourselves from all of this like low level arguments and think about the messaging that is going on. And I think that that is what was most evident to me after that was that, okay, now we have all these like boomers and these left wing lunatics talking about a civil war. But I don't really feel like you said, like for the younger conservatives, like I just feel like a lot of us left and right, there are a lot of people that have identified the elites and the tech oligarchs as the actual enemy. And I feel like the propaganda that's going on right now is to make us feel like, oh no, let's other the left wingers, they're the problem. The right wingers, they're the problem. Where
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's where a lot of Americans are. Like I feel like they're trying to drum up this idea that we want civil war, we want and it's really just to create, like you said, chaos, confusion, um, disorder. It's creating the problem so that the tech oligarchs in cooperation with the
Yeah.
government can give us the solution, right?
It's like David Icke always said, problem, reaction, solution. That's
Yeah.
always been his whole thing. And by the way, this is part of the reason, you mentioned the 18 to 45 demographic not really caring. That's part of the reason why the Democrats are going to win in the midterms, and there is going to be
Yes.
a Democrat president for sure in 2028 because 18 to 40 more, let's say, conservative or right-leaning
Yeah.
voters, they're not showing up in the midterms. I'll probably vote in the Florida governor's election, but other than that, I'm not going to be running to the polls to vote for Republican candidates for. I mean, what have they done?
Yeah.
What have,
Well,
you have to give people something. You have to
well,
offer people something. And
yeah. Yeah. To your point too, um, I just was trying to explain this to my boss the other day that like for the average American, I don't feel as if Mamdani, you see a lot of people like screaming about Mamdani. And hey, listen, I have big concerns about where socialism takes us. I have big concerns about Islam becoming, people being comfortable with that in our country. But I think for the average American, like you said, we're like, okay, why did Trump get elected? Trump got elected because we thought he represented a counter elite. He was to take on the elites and be on the side of the average American. He was a counter elite. He was not an elite. That is why he was elected, because we felt like he represented the people. Now he's in power. And it seems like for a lot of people, I mean, the only time really this administration, like, yes, the borders are not as porous as they once were. Good
Which is
job.
the bare minimum that any
Yeah, yeah,
president should
yeah,
do, is to
yes, yeah.
secure the border.
I do like his speech that he gave at the UN when he was kind of like nasty to them. That was great. I love that. But I do feel like there are a lot of conservative or kind of like Americans that voted for Trump that don't really, they don't have like, they're not sitting there like reading Milton Friedman. Like they don't care. Like they're just,
Right.
but they're looking and they're like, wait a minute. So you're like socializing companies and your government is taking stake in companies. You're making sure all of your donors are taken care of. All of your children are making money off of a Bitcoin scam. And our healthcare premiums are going through the roof, and our wages are being garnished because we have these horrible student loans that were scammed to us. So I think
Yeah.
the average American is sitting there and thinking to themselves, well, like, yeah, Mom Donnie, at least he's like kind of like sticking up for us. Like at least like even if he's going to just take care of his cronies, even if he's going to kind of socialize things, like at least maybe I'll get free health care, right? Like that's,
Right.
and I'm not, listen, people, if you're listening, I'm not saying that that's what I believe. I'm saying that is the
This is what it
mentality.
is.
This is what it is. This is the average person's mentality, is like, I'm basically, so Trump's taking care of all the people at the top, and I'm kind of getting shafted at the bottom here. I get to have capitalism, but Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all these other billionaires get these, $1 trillion contracts. They're basically living off the government themselves. Peter Thiel, they're all fighting for government money to make themselves richer. But like, God forbid I get government money for some health care. You know what I mean? Like just to go get like my blood work done. So I think that, and I'm not a fan of any of it, but I'm just saying that that's the rational American is looking at it. And I don't think that they're as afraid of the left wing or as sour on the left wing as they want us to be, if that makes sense. I feel like people aren't like, I don't feel very threatened by Mamdani. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, but I feel like every like this the mainline conservatives are like freaking out about
Right.
Mamdani. And I think that their concerns are justified. But I think for the average American, they're just like, you know what? It's just more of the same. Like we're immiserated, we're exhausted. We thought that Trump was going to actually work for us.
Yeah,
And
he was going to destroy the deep state,
yeah,
and how
yeah,
many, Epstein files, oh, they don't exist. And by the way, if you
yeah.
say that they do, I don't want your support. He said that. You have Kash Patel and Dan Bongino on Good Morning America saying, yeah, he killed himself, and trust us, just take our word for it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
at the end of the day, my question really is this, Karen. Will Trump send me a Venezuelan wife? That's really
Yes.
kind of all I care about at this point. I feel like if we're going to be going into all these Latin countries, I feel like at this point we might as well overthrow Cuba. We might as well go into Colombia. Because I'm thinking at this point, like a harem would be nice, like a Venezuelan wife, a Cuban wife, a Colombian wife, and they could have certain duties around the house, because I've got a tight ship that I run here. I need food prepared. I need the garbage taken out. I need the floors clean. There's a lot that needs to be done. So that's really my only question. Can I at least get a Venezuelan wife out of this? And I hope that the answer is yes.
I just imagine like Trump listening to this, like watching this and being like, you know what? He's right. We need to go into Cuba. He's like, he hires you. You replace Pete Hegseth. You're like
Yeah,
just as qualified as he is.
pretty much at the end of the day. Well, hey, Listen, this has been fun. If you enjoyed our little musings and banter on here, give us a like, hit the subscribe button, and we'll be back again with another video. So we'll see you next time.